everybody, welcome to class. I'm Michelle. Today's class will be all levels. Go at your own pace, take a break when you need it. We'll focus a lot on the hips and a few heart openers. So if you're ready, let's come into child's pose. Bring your toes to touch and knees open to a comfortable distance. If you want more support, bring your knees a little closer. If you want to get more into your hips, open up your knees a little wider. Bring your fingertips back by your feet. Rest your forehead to the mat and just simply begin to breathe. Allowing yourself to arrive. Once you get all the fidgeting out, start to practice non-reactivity. Noticing all the sounds around you and letting them just fade into the background like background noise. Noticing the sensations within, and start to guide your breath into those areas. Deepening your awareness of these sensations by activating Ujjayi breathing, breathing in and out of your nose, creating audible sounds on and off your mat. Breathing in deeply and exhaling out slowly. Feeling the breath as it washes over the back of your throat as you bring it deep down into the belly, breathing into the lungs 100%. Exhaling out fully and completely, feeling the belly lifting to the back body, feel your ribs squeezing in, all the way to empty. And take a few more breaths like this on your own. Allowing yourself to transition from your day to your practice. Giving your mind a rest and paying more attention to how you feel physically, emotionally, and energetically. When you're ready, start to activate your pose by stretching and reaching your fingers out a little further. Lifting up your elbows, your forearms, and tenting all 10 fingertips. Take an inhale here, lengthening the sides of the body. Open up your mouth on this one and exhale, say ah. And on your next inhale, lift up your torso and walk your hands over to the right. Stretching the left side body. Stay here, passively approaching the pose, letting go, or making the pose a little more active by using your right hand to just gently push your hips to the left. Slowly inhaling, visualizing your breath moving from your left hip through the side of the waist, in between the ribs, into your intercostal muscles, the muscles that aid in your breathing, so strengthening your lungs. Exhaling all the way to empty. Take one more there. And your next inhale, lift up the torso, walk it over to the other side. And same thing, either take a more passive approach or a more active approach. I'm trying to maintain balance by whatever you do on the right side, try to do on the left side unless you are nursing an injury or an old injury. Notice your facial expression. Try to relax it. Notice if your lips are pressing together. Try to create a little bit of space. And the jaw, relax. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, bring it back to center, and then take a moment to set an intention, the reason why you're here, why yoga, or a centering thought to keep you focused on your breath. Or maybe you have a mantra that you like to use. Today my mantra is, I am grateful. And I will repeat that over and over and over again until I find my center. On your next inhale, lift yourself up to all fours, lining up the creases of your wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Inside of the elbows face forward, rolling the shoulder blades back and down. On an inhale, start to move your spine in cow pose. Lift your gaze and tail. Breathe in as much as you can. And on an exhale, angry cat pose. Round your spine. Push away from the earth and bring your gaze all the way back between your legs. Inhale, let the belly go. Pull the chest through the shoulders as the shoulders draw back and down. Exhale, round and curl, navel to spine. That makes me so happy. Inhale, let the belly go. And if you look over my left shoulder, Skylar, you will see my sweet baby. Exhale, round and curl. Keep going, a few more on your own. Tuck your toes, lift your gaze. And exhale, round and curl. From here, some circles around your mat. Inhaling, move your hips to the right. And exhale, move the hips to the left. So a nice big or small, passive, organic circle. Just moving into your body in a way that feels appropriate. Maybe shrugging of the shoulders or the hips or the shaking of your head. Reverse your direction. Inhale to the left and exhale to the right. Getting into the wrists and all the way back into your feet. And bringing it back to neutral. Dial your fingertips back towards your knees. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. This is when I like to start talking about the bandhas, Mula Bandha, the beginning of the inhale. Pull the space in between your sit bones. Breathe all the way up to the heart. And as you exhale, Uddiyana Bandha, the cinching of your waist. Imagine tightening up a seatbelt around your lower ribs. Bring your knees together. Keep your toes tucked and sit back on your heels. Reach back for your little pinky toe. Sometimes that gets stuck. And then inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Bring your gaze up to your thumbs, and on an exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Interlace your fingers, push your palms forward and up. Lift your gaze, and on an exhale, cactus your elbows. So the elbows draw back, shoulders kiss together and draw down towards the waist. Inhale here, Mula Bandha. Exhale, Uddiyana Bandha, tighten up the front body. Inhale, gaze forward, arms reach up. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Lift up the feet, give it a tap, roll your ankles, whatever feels the best. And then flip your palms up, fingertips in. Give your fingers a wiggle. If it's too much, do one at a time. If you want to bring your fingers to face each other, bend your elbows. This makes it more accessible. This can be intense. Bring your knees together, stay on the top of the feet, and sit all the way back on your heels. Sweep your arms out and up, opening across the front body. Lifting your gaze, gaze at your thumbs, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, interlace your fingers, push your palms forward and up. Exhale, cactus. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Inhale, arms up, gaze forward. Exhale, hands down. Tuck your toes, preparing for your downward facing dog. Make sure your fingers are spread wide, gripping the mat with all 10 fingertips. Tuck the toes, lift your knees, and start to send your hips back to down dog. Keep your knees nice and soft to start. Draw your lower belly in and your ribs in as you inhale. Push back. As you exhale, try to root your heels. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. On an inhale, we're going to come forward with a round spine to a high plank. Exhale here. Stacking your shoulders over the wrists and your heels over your toes. Take an inhale, start to shift the weight over the wrists, and on an exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, fingertips line up next to the nipples, elbows in and up, forehead down. Bring your toes to touch and your heels, unless you have something going on in your low back, separate your heels. On an inhale, press down and pull back with your hands, peeling your chest away from the mat, baby cobra pose. Feet press, hips press, hands lift, heart lifts. Inhale, pull the low belly in. Breathe all the way up to the heart center. And on an exhale, stretch your arms back and bring your right ear to the mat. Take a deep breath, give your hips a little wiggle. Open up your mouth and say, ah. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Separate your feet a little bit. Hands pressed down, slightly pull back. Lifted cobra. So keeping the elbows slightly bent. Toes pressing down, hands pressing down. And energy of those 2 points pulling together as the heart moves forward and up. Breathe into what you're feeling. 1 more breath. On the exhale, lower all the way down. Bring your left ear to the mat. Stretch your arms back. Give your hips a wiggle, or maybe this time lift up your feet and rock your feet right and left and right. Awesome. Legs back down, hands underneath your shoulders. Maybe fingertips slide down closer to the hips. Inhale, peel the chest away from the mat, pressing down with your feet and hips. Peel your heart forward and up. Lifted cobra or full expression, upward facing dog. Inhale. One more breath here. On an exhale, lift up your hips, tuck your toes, find your way back into downward facing dog. Make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart. Your index fingers are facing forward, and you're grounding through the knuckles of the index fingers and your thumbs. Take a deep breath in here. Feel your spine lift and lengthen. Exhale, feel the front body tighten up. On an inhale, lift your right leg all the way up to the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hips so your right knee is the highest point on the body. Lift up your gaze and look over your left shoulder. See if you can see your right foot. Inhale, lift the right leg, squaring the hips off. And exhale, round and curl. Bring your thigh to your belly, puff up your back, and gaze between your hands. Take another inhale here, spreading across the shoulder blades. And on an exhale, step your right foot all the way up between your hands. Lower your left knee down, untuck the back toes, and rise up to a low crescent lunge. Hook your thumbs, bringing your right thumb behind the left. Lift your gaze, squeeze your thighs. Inhale, pull your belly back to support your spine. Feel yourself getting longer through the sides of the waist. And on the exhale, melt the hips. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, circle your arms around, frame your right foot, and lift up your right toes for a half split pose. If your leg's not all the way straight, don't worry about it. Just try to lift the toes, flexing the foot. Steady your gaze, squeeze the inner thighs, and breathe. On your next inhale, you're going to bend your right knee, move your left foot over to the right, and open up to a modified version of Warrior Two. Take your right hand to the inside of the right foot and the left arm to the sky. If you have a block, you can place your right hand on the block to extend and lengthen the arms. Hello, Mimi. One more breath here. On an inhale, we're going to come up Warrior Two. Start to straighten out that right leg, lowering your left hand down and streamlining from your right foot to your right fingers. Draw your lower belly in and breathe. One more inhale here. On an exhale, you're going to circle your right arm around, bringing your right hand now to the back of the mat to balancing table. Left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale. Exhale, round and curl, navel to spine. Inhale, stretch and reach. Exhale, round and curl. One more stretch and reach. And exhale, round and curl. Left hand comes down, right foot kicks back and down, tucking the toes under. And on an inhale, your left leg sweeps the sky. Exhale, bring your left knee to your nose, round and curl. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale to your left knee. Pause for 5 or fly. 2, 1. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, hover, hold, or fly. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, rounding curl, thigh to belly, knee to nose. Inhale here, push away. Look between your hands and exhale, left foot up. Stretch your arms back, take a breath in, lean forward, pick up the right knee, squeeze it up into the belly. Place your left hand 12 inches in front of your left big toe, half moon pose. Right foot kicks back, right toes face the right, and your right hip stacks on top of your left. Push your hip slightly to the right, tuck your left butt cheek under. Get a little lighter on that left hand. One more deep breath in. Steady your gaze. Soften your left knee. Step the right foot back. Exalted triangle pose. So your left leg goes straight, your left toes are facing forward, your right foot is lined up with the back of your mat. Left arm cartwheels in front of your face to a warrior 2, and then to side angle. Left forearm to the inside of the left leg. You can send that right foot back a little more. Right bicep by your ear. Gently pushing the left knee open with your left arm. We're going to straighten out the right leg and meet in a wide leg fold. 10 to all 10 fingertips. Walk your fingertips out in front of you and send your hips way back. Take a deep breath in. Open up your mouth and say, ah. On your next inhale, we're going to sweep the right arm to the right. Opening up the torso to the right as much as you can, and then exhale, thread the needle through the hole, grabbing your right foot, ankle, or leg, giving it a gentle pull. Taking your left arm forward or up to the sky, or taking your left hand and threading it through the hole of your left leg and right arm, grabbing somewhere on that right leg. Gently unwind, 10 to all 10 fingertips back out. Keep the right hand down, sweep left arm to the left. Breathe in as much as you can, all the way at the top of the lungs, and then exhale, thread it through, and grab your right foot, ankle, or leg. Right hand walks out in front, up to the sky, or thread it through left arm, right leg. And maybe your head dives through. Unwinding. Take a deep breath here. Bringing the hands back underneath your shoulders. We'll bend the knees right and left about 10 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way back around to a right side lunge. Hop your left foot up 1 foot distance, so your feet have half a leg's distance between them. Inhale, pyramid pose, lift up halfway, lengthen. Take your hands to your hips and rise all the way up to standing. Take your arms behind you and grab opposite elbows. Firm up your thighs, lift your kneecaps, pull your belly back. Inhale, send your right hip back, spiraling your left thigh forward. Come halfway down and hold. At the end of the exhale, fold all the way over. See if you can tuck your chin to your chest and maybe touch that right shin or knee. Release the hands back down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Walk your hands forward. Slide the hands back by your right foot. Soften the knee to step your left foot back. We're going to inhale, sweep the right leg back and up to a three-legged dog. Back where we started. Look over your left shoulder. Stay there. Or flip your dog. Reaching your right arm up and over. From here, lift your right foot and find side plank. Lower right hand, right leg back and up. On an exhale, bring the right knee in. Soften your left knee and cross your right knee over your left. Pivot your left toes to the left and lift your left arm up. One more breath here. You can sink the hips a little more, and then we'll inhale back to a high plank pose. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. You have 5 breaths here. If you have a handstand practice or a forearm stand practice or even handstand practice, feel free to take some play time. Feel free to do a few hop-ups or jump switches. Two more breaths. We'll meet back in a downward facing dog. So take your time here. Inhale here together. Open up your mouth and say, ah. Inhale, lift your left leg back and up. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Lift your gaze, look over your right shoulder, try to find that left foot. Inhale, left leg lifts, square the 2 hips off. Exhale, bring your left thigh to your belly, puff up the back. Inhale here. Exhale, look between your hands and step your left foot all the way up. Lower your back knee and untuck your toes. Rise, hook your left thumb behind your right this time. Your low crescent lunge. As you inhale, rise out of the low back. As you exhale, melt your hips. Inhale, pull the belly back to support your spine. Exhale, squeeze your thighs. One more inhale. Exhale, circle it around. Frame your left foot. and shift it back, half split pose. Pull left heel and right knee towards the center of the mat. On your next inhale, bend the left knee, turn your right toes to the right, and open up, warrior two, modified. Inhale, exhale. Left hand comes to the inside of the left foot, right arm reaches up, hands at 6 and 12. Inhale. On your next inhale, lift back up, warrior two. Start to straighten out your left leg, lowering your right hand and streamlining left fingertips and left pinky toe. Draw the belly in, slightly push your hips forward. On your next inhale, circle the left arm around, finding your way into balancing table. Right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, stretch and reach. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, stretch and reach. And last one, round and curl. Right hand down, left foot back, toes tuck. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Hover, hold, or fly. Inhale, right leg lifts. And exhale, right knee to the left elbow. Hover, hold, or fly. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step right foot up between your hands. Reach the arms back, lean forward. Bring the left knee in. Ground your right hand, half moon pose. Kick your left foot out, left toes face the left. Arms at 6 and 12. Gaze down or up. Find what works best for you. Breathe deeply and steady your gaze. Start to soften your right knee. Step your left foot way back. Straighten your right leg. Exalted triangle. Keep zipping up your right quad. Making space out of that right hip joint. Bring it back, warrior two, to a side angle. Right forearm on the right thigh, left bicep by your ear. You can lower that right hand to the inside of the right foot or a block. Draw your hips forward and your heart slightly back. Tucking your right butt cheek under as you open up the left hip. Start to straighten out the leg, bringing your hands to a wide leg fold. This time, walk your hands back through the legs. Shift the weight slightly into your toes and bring your chin towards your chest. Nice deep breaths in. Long, slow exhales out. And bringing your hands out in front of you. We'll take a twist here. Right hand underneath the chin, left hand to the hip. Gaze to the left and lift your left arm. Try to keep your hips closed, so imagine squeezing a beach ball between your inner thighs. Push firmly away with the right hand and reach with your left. Lowering your left hand and onto the other side. Right hand to the hip or to the sky. Twisting from the navel center, so trying to get your rib cage to rotate to the right, keeping the hips from moving. And lower your right hand. Bend your knees a few times, right and left, left and right. We'll bring it all the way back around to a left side lunge. Hop your right foot up 1 foot distance. So just closing that space off just a little to pyramid pose. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Take your hands to your hips and slowly rise up. Take your hands back behind you, grabbing opposite elbows. One day reverse namaste. If you have reverse namaste, go for that. Inhale, pull your left hip back, right hip forward, navel to spine, and come halfway down and pause and check in. Zip the quads, lift your kneecaps. Feel your spine lifting up into the arms. At the end of your next exhale, fold all the way over, maybe forehead to the knee or shin. Releasing your hands, walking the fingertips out, look up, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Slide your hands back, soften the left knee, step your right foot back, and then on an inhale, sweep the left leg back and up, bending the knee and opening up the hip. Stay there, flip your dog. Left foot lands lightly behind the right leg, spin the heart open to the sky. And then from here, transition into your side plank for 5. Draw your tailbone towards your feet, navel to your spine, heart to the sky. Bring it back to a 3-legged plank and 3-legged dog. Soften both knees, take the left knee, cross it over your right, spin your right toes to the right, and lift your right arm up. Sink your hips and inhale, open the chest. Slowly making your way back to a high plank. Inhale. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, child's pose, or another inversion, headstand, handstand, forearm stand. You have 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you're ready, meet me back in downward facing dog. And then we'll walk our hands all the way back to meet our feet. And slowly ragdoll your way all the way up to standing. And roll your shoulders up and down your back a few times. And roll your shoulders forward and down a few times. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Pause here. Exhale, lean back into your back bend. Zip up your quads. Pull your low belly back to support your spine. And with your inhale, stretch, lifting out at the low back. On your next inhale, bring your gaze forward, soften your knees, and we're going to eagle wrap the right elbow underneath the left. And then pick up the right knee and cross your right knee over your left. Hooking the right foot behind the left ankle or calf muscle, or using your left foot to help you balance. Hold it here, lift your elbows, or start to hinge from your hips, bringing your elbows towards your left knee. Fingertips towards your navel to spine. On an inhale, we're going to slowly come up, lifting the right knee, sweeping the arms up, and bringing the arms back for warrior three. Is there anything behind my foot?
A little bit, yeah, about a foot.
Bring it back up, reach your arms up, and bring it back, warrior three. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, standing split. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, standing split. One more inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften both knees. Right foot meets your left. Forward fold. Inhale, ragdoll your way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back. Take a breath here. Open up your mouth and say, ah. Inhale, reach your arms up. Soften the knees. Exhale, eagle wrap your left under the right. Soften the right knee, cross your left foot over the right. So if balance is an issue for you today, use your toes to help you balance. Hinge forward from your hips, move your elbows off the chest and elbows towards the knees, fingertips towards the floor, navel to spine. Inhale, slowly rising up, unhook the legs, unhook your arms. Slowly moving back, warrior three. Reach the arms back, kick your left leg back. Bring it back in, inhale, lift the left knee, lift the arms. Exhale, send the left leg back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Standing split. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Standing split. One more inhale, halfway lift. And this time, exhale, forward fold, both feet in. We're going to lower our seat all the way down, finding our malasana or possibly a crow pose. Open up your knees, send your arms forward, send your hips and heels back. If you have crow, plug your knees above the elbows. I like to bring them up as far as I can into my armpits. I keep them there. Crow's not my favorite pose. Plug the fingers in. Inhale, lift your right heel and lower. Lift your left heel and lower. Try lifting both. Lower when you're ready. Bringing the knees back in. Lowering the knees down. Walking the hands out. High plank. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, sweep the right leg back and up. Take your right knee to your right wrist for pigeon pose. Send your left leg back. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, lower all the way down. Take a little pause here. You can rest your chin, your forehead. If you want to get into the shoulders, you can thread your left arm underneath. Feeling the outer right hip hug back and the front left hip melt down and slightly pull forward. You can always hit the pause button if you want to do this pose longer. But we're going to come up now onto our hands. Use our right hand to ground us and our left hand to reach back for the left foot or ankle. Squeezing the heel to your outer hip the best you can. Breathing into the front of that left thigh, still guiding outer right hip back, guiding the front of your left hip forward and down. On your next inhale, we'll sweep the left leg all the way around, stretch your left foot out and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take your right hand behind you and your left hand to the sky. Inhale. And on an exhale, bring your left elbow to the outside of the right knee and gaze over your right shoulder. Not forcing the twist or leaning on that right hand, but trying to keep the crown of your head stacked above your tailbone. Look over your left shoulder on an inhale. And bring it back to center. Take your hands behind you, fingertips face in, and pump your legs in and out a few times. Place your feet down. On an inhale, lift up your hips, reverse table. Let the gaze drop back if that's okay on your neck. If it's not, keep your gaze up and keep space. Deep breath in, lift the belly. Open up your mouth and exhale, let it go. Inhale, chin to chest. Slowly scoot your hips back between your hands. cross at your ankles, roll over to all fours, tuck your toes, meet back, downward facing dog. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll lift the left leg back and up for pigeon pose on the other side. Left knee to the left wrist. Hips stay closed. Right thigh and knee are facing down. Left hip is hugging back. If you thread the left arm through on the other side, thread your right arm through on this side. And again, you can hit that pause button because this is a great pose to just linger in. But if you're ready, come on up. Left hand grounds for stability. Right hand reaches back for that right foot for a stretch, bringing the right heel towards your hip. On your next inhale, we'll sweep the right leg around. Make sure your right foot lines up with the hip. Cross your left foot over. Give the right elbow a hug. Left hand behind you and twist, or take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee to deepen the twist. Try not to lean on that left hand. Keep breathing. Go. Go, go. One more breath. Countering the pose, look over your right shoulder. And bring it back to center. Bring your hands behind you. Pump out your legs again. Place your feet back down, or this time straight legs, reverse plank. So if reverse plank is too intense, go back to reverse table. On an inhale, lift up your hips, get your toes down. Let your head drop back if it serves you. One more breath. Open up your mouth. Inhale, lower down. Legs nice and straight. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. So on the inhale, find length. On the exhale, surrender to whatever it is. Inhale, roll yourself up. And exhale, roll yourself all the way down to a Shavasana. Take a moment here. Open up your mouth. Exhale, say ah. coming into bridge pose. Bend your knees, feet are hip bone distance apart, hands by your side, palms down. Inhale. On an exhale, press down and in with your feet and peel your spine off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Lift your chin slightly away from your chest. If you feel like it's pressing, lift it. Option to interlace your fingers. Option to reach your arms back. And your final option would be a full wheel. Try not to squeeze your glutes. Ground down and in with your feet. Squeeze your inner thighs. You have 5 more breaths. If you're going for full wheel, bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders, pointing towards your feet. And on an inhale, lift all the way up. If it makes sense, walk your feet forward. Try to straighten out your legs. One more breath. We'll lower all the way down as we inhale. Floating the arms and legs up to the sky. Rolling around your wrist. Rocking your ears right and left a few times. And then relax everything for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Happy baby pose. Hands to the inner arches or hands to the outer arches. Bring your knees close to the side body and down towards the earth without the tail lifting, tail pressing. If you want more, kick into your hands, straightening one leg at a time or both at the same time. Notice the quality of your breath. As we come near to the end of class, the mind tends to get busy again. Just keep returning to your intention or your mantra. Bring your legs together and up. A gentle hamstring stretch, left foot down. Walk your hands up the back of your right leg and gently pull. As you pull the leg, press into the hands with the leg at the same time. Cross your right knee over your left and give your knees a little hug. Rock it side to side if it feels good. And then we'll open up the arms wide like a T, or cactus your elbows, or just rest your hands somewhere by your side. Scoot your hips to the right and bring your knees to the left. If it's too much of a twist and you can't breathe as well as you'd like to, uncross your legs or do your favorite twist. On an inhale, bring it back to center. Uncross your legs, separate your feet, draw your knees together and just rest your hands on your belly for a moment. Bring your feet back in, cross your left over right, bring the knees in, pause here for a moment. And then place your right foot down for a gentle hamstring stretch. Push with the leg, pull with the hands simultaneously. Flex the foot, active toes. Left over right, arms open wide. Right foot down, scoot your hips to the left, and move your knees to the right. Looking over your left shoulder to deepen the twist. And then inhale, come back to center. Uncross, center your hips, separate your feet again, knees together, hands on the belly. And then bring your feet closer, bring your knees in, and give yourself one more big hug. If it feels good, lift up your head, neck, and shoulders. Lower your head down, bring the soles of your feet together, and let your knees open up wide. Rest your arms by your side. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Coming back to that place where we started. We transitioned from our day onto our mat. Notice how you feel now, physically, emotionally, and energetically. As we start to transition into our final pose, our Shavasana, being very mindful of our breaths, conscious breathing. Because once we step off our mat, we transition back into our reality. And maybe you can take your intention or your mantra with you to remind you to breathe. Each time you breathe, it brings you right into the present moment where you're centered, where you're connected universally. I hope you received what you needed to help you give your mind a rest and get more in touch with your body. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.